Do you have an invention idea you want to bring to market, but you're not sure of what steps you need to take? Well, this video is the third in a series of videos that I'm putting together talking about what you need to do to make your invention a reality. And I'm using the process I've taken with the Desk Nest cat bed as an example to show you what I've done in the process. In my previous video, I talked about the inspiration behind Desk Nest and the first steps I took in the process, and also the beginning designs. I also ended that video talking about my first big mistake I made in the process. If you're interested in that video, there's a link to that one in the first video in the description below. So let's do this. I'm Scott. I've been inventing products since the early 2000s. I've got multiple award-winning products on the market, and I'm continuing to develop products even today. So what was this big mistake? Well, it was really that I didn't trust my intuition, and I trusted the designers to come up with a perfect product for me. And that actually led to two more issues. Now, in order to build this very first prototype, which was going to be a manufactured product made out of plastic, what we had to do is we had to 3D print the first sample. And because 3D printing was so expensive back then, we 3D printed one, then we casted that 3D printing into a mold, and then we made 3 products from the mold. Now, the product was beautiful, and when we started using it, it worked amazing. But what we learned over time is the plastic parts started to break. It wasn't going to work. We couldn't manufacture this. It was a big deal. Now, I could duct tape it together and fix it for my own use, but I'm not going to sell a product to people that if it breaks, I tell them to duct tape it. That's not going to work. It wasn't a commercially viable product. So that was a huge issue, and we had to go back to the drawing board. This was the next design that the designer came up with. It improved with the braking problem. We took that into consideration. We solved the braking problem, so everything was good to go, right? Wrong. I learned the next major issue, and because I was a novice at this process, I didn't realize that the tooling costs, the molds to make the plastic part in manufacturing, were going to cost nearly $30,000. That was completely cost prohibitive. There was no way I was going to be able to spend that much before even a single product was manufactured. So I hired another designer to simplify the design, and while that improved the tooling costs and lowered the cost of manufacturing the product, it was still cost prohibitive. And through computer modeling, we also learned that this new design was likely to break as well. I was stuck. I didn't know what to do at this point. Now, keep in mind that this process took years between hiring a designer and an engineer, building prototypes, going back with manufacturers, finding another designer, another engineer, building new prototypes, computer modeling, new manufacturers. This process was taking a long time. I didn't know what to do. I'd had success with other products and had never encountered these types of problems. But I didn't want to give up on Desk Nest. My cats loved it. My duct tape sample was still on my desk. My cats were still using it. I knew I had an amazing product idea, but I really didn't know what to do next. What did I do? Well, I went back to my original idea, my original instinct on how to make this product. But I was really clear on what Desk Nest needed. I wanted it to be strong and safe. That was first and foremost. I didn't want parts breaking, so I knew it needed to be made of metal. Any connecting part, anything that supported weight, needed to be made of metal. I also wanted the bed to be extremely flexible. I wanted the bed to go up and down on the post and also rotate 360 degrees on the post, because everybody has a different desk setup and different desks, and they want to be able to use it how it fits them best. So those were really important factors that I wanted in my new design. So I went back to my original idea of the computer monitor arm and started over from there. Computer monitor arms are great for holding computer monitors, but they're not meant to hold a cat bed. But I wanted to keep the progress moving, so I bought an arm and hacked together, figured out a way to attach a bed, and it worked, kind of. My cats still loved it, but there was no way I would be able to sell this product. It wasn't commercially viable. I knew that there was some great potential, so I reached out and I found a new factory, and they were great at making beds like this, but they had zero experience connecting a bed to anything like a computer monitor arm. We started making pretty good progress, and then COVID hit, everything stopped. Once recovery started happening and the factories opened back up again, my new project wasn't a priority to them. They had to catch up on all the products that were already in production when they shut down. And by the time they got to me, they had lost my samples. I had to start all over with them. In my next video, I'm going to talk about how we finally got to this design of Desk Nest right here. It wasn't easy. If you want to see that video when it drops, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Thank you for watching.